Hello, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us today. We're going to get the show started at about 5 after the hour and get things rolling then. A reminder that, as always, this is a free show, so do not feel obligated to tip. But if you would like to help support the artist and the food pantry that he's partnering up with tonight, there are links in all of the various chats. Thanks for your patience. We'll get started shortly. Hello, everybody. We're going to get the show started in just another 2 minutes here. Thanks for your patience. As always, this is a free show, so do not feel obligated to tip. But in case you would like to help keep the music going, there are links in all of the various chats. Thanks for your patience. See you guys in a moment.
Hello everyone, hey, welcome here. If you can hear what I'm saying, go like this. Hey, all right. So my name is Don White. This is our Thursday night with Don White series, and we've been doing it since March. And tonight we are working with the Homegrown Coffeehouse, one of my favorite places on earth. It's in Needham, Massachusetts, and we are also working with the food pantry from that community as well. So I'm here now to just let you know how this thing is going to lay out, how the night's going to lay out. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk to you about Zoom. So I assume most of you know about Zoom, but one of the ways that I like to use Zoom is I like to unmute people so that I can hear them laughing and I don't feel like I'm just performing for a screen. So the way we do that is we ask you this question: are you in a quiet place? What does quiet mean? It means, in Zoom, any sound that you make is as loud as the performer. So squeaky chair, phone ringing, dog barking, all of that is picture us in the chapel, and you pop open a big bag of chips or whatever. So if you're in a quiet space, we want you to raise your hand so we can selectively unmute you and monitor you. Right, so if it gets noisy, you don't have to worry. Brandon, the technician, will mute you if if a dog starts barking or a phone rings or something, but we want to get as many people unmuted as possible so this can feel like a real concert. So the way we do that in Zoom is we go down to our participants icon down at the bottom of your screen. It's the two torsos. You see that right there? And if you click on that, it opens up a screen, and in that screen there is a blue hand. See the raised hand right there? So if you are in a quiet place, reasonably quiet, click that blue hand, and then we'll know, and then we will unmute you, or you can unmute yourself. So let's see how many we can get here. Already I hear somebody with a fan on, so Brandon, take care of that for me, please. So we've got 1, 2, 3. That's plenty right there. So if we get all those people unmuted, let's try to get them all unmuted. Look at you all. This is going to be good fun. We're going to feel like we're at a real concert tonight. So here, mostly everybody's unmuted. So don't worry about it. Like if a fan kicks on or something, we have someone on the payroll tonight to just kind of monitor this so it doesn't get out of hand, right? But so what we're going to do is to test it. So I'm going to count to 3. And when I get to 3, I want you to pretend you just heard the funniest thing that you ever heard in your life and laugh your head off, all you unmuted people, okay? So we can see what this really feels like. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead, laugh.
Wow.
It's a little scary and frightening, and it sounds a little diabolical, but you get the idea. Okay, so what this does now in the show is that it allows me to feel like I'm performing for somebody, but you have to be quiet over there. You know what I mean? You can't have a conversation, all that, but you can mute yourself if something happens in your thing, but we'll mute you anyway, so don't worry about it. So this is the way the night's going to lay out. I'm going to introduce Jim Sargent, my buddy, and he's going to talk about the coffee house and, you know, everything that's going on with them and their history. Then he's going to introduce Sandra from the food pantry. She's going to talk about that. So we're going to be sharing money with the food pantry, and any donations that come in will be going to both things. So we're going to do that. So it's my pleasure now to introduce you to a good friend of mine who's been booking me for I don't know 25 or 30 years. He's just a lovely man, and I know his whole family. Please, a nice round of applause for Jim Sargent.
Thank you, Don, and thank you. It's just so good to see people on screen, live, ready for music. Our season shut down in the middle of March, like everything else, and I've just been holed up here in my day cave. It is so good to get out. So, if you were sitting in the parish hall of the First Parish Unitarian Universalist Church in Needham, I would be saying to you, good evening and welcome to the Homegrown Coffeehouse, the club that is rooted in folk music and powered by carrot cake. And it's just great to see you all. So of course, we're not sitting in the parish hall. We're here online learning something brand new. This is our new reality. And all of you folk are getting to participate in opening night of our 38th season.
Yeah!
Back in 1983 when we started this series, and during that entire time, my companion in crime, my companion in life, Beth Sargent, has been involved the whole time. And Brandon, if you could unmute Beth there, that would be terrific. There
Yep.
she is. This person, the love of my life for the last 53 years, has baked all 1,000 carrot cakes that we sold at the coffee house in that time. So, my sweet, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. So, with that, I wanna introduce our partner for the evening. The Needham Community Council here in Needham does wonderful work. They maintain a food pantry that's just so important to the community. Their executive director is Sandra Robinson. So, Sandra, go ahead.
Jim, thank you. And thank you for the Homegrown Coffeehouse for partnering with the Needham Community Council this special evening. Hearing live music is one way we will survive this crazy year. As I'm sure everyone is not surprised to hear, the Council's food pantry has been busier than ever the last 7 months. I want to thank community members who have been supporting us, and I know will continue to support us. A portion of your donations tonight will directly purchase food for your Needham neighbors. I also want to remind you, to remind everyone, if they know anyone that is living in Needham and struggling financially, to have them reach out to the Community Council. Our phone number is 781-444-2415, or go to our website, needhamcommunitycouncil.org. We're all in this together, and together we will get to the other side. Now, to begin the evening, it is my pleasure to introduce Kat Chapman.
So good to be here. I want to say thanks to Jim at home for inviting me. This is my friend Chris Ledbetter behind me. Hi, Chris.
Hey, everybody.
I'm going to play a song that I wrote for you called Ivy. It's about finding that sweet spot in the moment. Do-do-do, 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 do-do-do. around me, moving faster than I can go. It's a rare thing to be in the moment. I just sit and watch the ivy grow. Do 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 do. All the choices, all the indecision, dance in the corners of my eyes. When I think about the climbing I do, she just knows she wants to touch the sky. Do 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 do. Every thought is like a vine, it winds itself around in time. Every leaf a memory that keeps on coming back to me. Yeah. I breathe in and I breathe out all the things that I can do without. I don't worry about things that get control, no. I just sit and watch the ivy grow. Do 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 do. I just sit and watch the ivy grow. I just sit and watch the ivy grow. Do 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 do. Yeah.
All right, Kat. I can listen to you all day. Woo!
Much fun, thank you.
Oh, beautiful. I can listen to you all day.
Let's hear it one more time for Kat. That was so good.
All right, Kat.
All right, here we go. Next week, I will have been married to the same person for 43 years. Congratulate me, all you little squares. Come on now. So here we go. This is a song that I wrote after my son went to college and my wife realized that there wasn't going to be any buffer between us anymore. It was a very difficult moment for Mrs. White, and she's so happy that I go on Zoom and share it with people all around the world. I'm delighted to be here. The Homegrown Coffeehouse is one of my favorite places. They've been good to me for decade upon decade, and I'm so glad to be bringing them into the cyber world during these weird times. Rascal is the dog. He ain't too bright, me and Rascal. We're sitting on the couch last night when my woman come in and started to cry. She looked at us with such terror in her eyes. She said, I have raised these children for 18 years while you, Dawn White, have done nothing. And now they're growing up and moving out of here. And my big reward for all that I've been through is this dog as dumb as mud. And you? Yippee-yahoo! Rascal looked at me in disbelief. He said, she can't be talking about you and me. She has got us to spend the rest of her whole life with. Would you please tell her how incredibly lucky she is? Who's gonna love you any better than this? We'll wake you up every morning with big wet kisses when we hear the police sirens in the neighborhood. We throw our heads up in the air and we howl for you. Let's all howl just to make sure we feel okay. My computer screen is howling at me. That can't be good. And that's cool. You gotta admit that's pretty cool. You know, I don't believe we had succeeded in convincing her of the outrageous good fortune that had befallen her. In fact, instead of looking happy as she could be, she looked a little bit, well, you know, suicidal to me. But hey, kids go to college, kids move away, but dogs and husbands, that's who stays. To you it seems like a terrible trick of fate, but me and Rascal don't see it that way. We're thinking, ain't we cuddly, ain't we cute? We're both real funny, we're both real true. There's another thing about us that's very cool. If you scratch us on our belly, our left leg moves. And you gotta admit that's cool. Oh. I think I'm scaring some of the squares here right now. Well, okay, so maybe we ain't that smart. We're a couple of mutts with a lot of heart. But no one could ever love you better or give you more loyalty than this dog, as dumb as mud. Than this dog, as dumb as mud. Than this dog, as dumb as mud. And me. How lucky can one girl be? She's got a dog like you and a man like me. We'll be together well into this next century. Put that knife down, baby. Rascal, I don't think Mama's too happy. Maybe we should sing for her. She always likes that. And it appears to be more than a handful of potential canines in cyberspace this evening. Maybe if we told them about the domestic difficulties that we're having on the home front, they might chime in and sing along. You know, in a lot of communities, if you heard a guy like me playing by himself in his office, howling to a computer screen, it might draw some attention. But the world is so weird now, and there's nothing that I can do to draw attention anymore. That's what I can say to you. So, at the count of 3, anybody who's not muted, I want you to howl, and we'll just get this off to a good start and feel like we are together. We're not together, I can prove that, but we can feel like it. We can deceive ourselves into feeling like we're together by howling at the top of our lungs on 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Ta-da! And the crowd goes wild. All right. Here. This is I'm going to talk a little bit about kids tonight. I'm in kind of a kid talking mood. I don't always do my teenagery things, but this feels right tonight. So this is the last song I'm ever going to write about raising kids. I've written a lot of songs about raising kids, and this is the last one because I'm sick of kids and I'm not writing any more songs about them. That's my theory right now. And so this is a song about the most difficult of the child rearing experiences. Maybe you think you know what the most difficult is. Maybe you think it's when they're little, like my grandsons. I have twin grandsons. I call them Thing 1 and Thing 2. And they learned to walk while they were living at my house. So for a while, it was like having 2 little drunk men bouncing around my house. That would be a good guess, to think that the most difficult of the child rearing experiences is when they're little, like Thing 1 and Thing 2, and every little bacteria in the world is trying to find some orifice to get in and cause them pain and suffering. Excellent guess, but wrong. Maybe you think the most difficult is when they're teenagers and you haven't slept all summer because you're out with a pair of binoculars trying to find some keg party that you're sure they're at, when they lie to you and say that they're sleeping at their friend's house. Is this too real, Needham? Tell me now. I mean, that would be an excellent guess, too. But that would be wrong, too. I'm here to testify that the most difficult of the child-rearing experiences is when they're in their 20s and you're trying to get them to move out! Our kids are grown. They're both in their 20s. They live at home, they are never gonna leave. And why should they go? They've got it good here, you know. Their food, their phone, their rent is free. They would have to be out of their minds to leave. But I was thinking, what if things were different? You know, living here at home with you and me. What if we decided we could act like they both did when they were in their teens? So wake up, mama, climb out of this window. I've got the key, let's steal our daughter's car. We'll both get really drunk and we'll put a big dent in her trunk. We'll drive real fast down the thoroughfare. If we get a speed ticket, we won't care. We'll be the ones up all night acting wild. They'll be the ones up all night worrying. Wake up, mama, climb out of this window. Come on out, be 16 with me.
Yeah.
Picture our kids calling all of our friends up and asking them if they know where we are. Of course, all our friends will lie and say they ain't seen us all night. But we'll be standing right beside them while they're on the phone, smoking and drinking and carrying on. And when we come strolling home on Sunday morning, you know, around 10 o'clock while the neighbors walk to church, our kids will ask us where we've been, and then they'll ask us again, and we will just make up a great big lie and swear that it's the truth until the day we die. And they'll be the ones trying to find the truth out, and we'll be the ones who are lying through our teeth. And under pressure, we'll confess that we had unprotected sex. That will gross them out so much they might just start to think about moving out. If turnabout is fair play in this life, then what better way to encourage them to live than to give them both a dose of what it was like to live with them when they were in their teens. So wake up, mama, climb out of this window. I have got the key, let's steal our daughter's car. We will both get really drunk, we'll put a big dent in her trunk, and no one will know where we are until we come home in a police car. We'll be the ones up all night acting wild, and they'll be the ones up all night worrying. Wake up, mama, climb out of this window. Oh man, be careful. You're not as young as you used to be. That's 40 feet down there. I should have brought a ladder, probably. But you know what? The kids are both drunk and passed out. Let's just go out the front door. Come on out and be 16 with me. 'Cause I remember you when you were 16. You were the most beautiful thing that I had ever seen. So wake up, mama, wake up, mama, wake up, mama, and be 16 with me. All right, let me tell you a story. This room that I'm in was my daughter's bedroom. When she was a teenager, I was working 16-hour days. I was installing alarms. I live in Lynn, Massachusetts. Those of you that are from Massachusetts, that will mean something to you. And my day job was that I would install alarm systems in Needham and out there in Metro West quite a bit, right? I worked for ADT, they were right there in Westwood, right? So I was out there all the time. And being a guy from Lynn who installed security systems in Metro West, I always told my customers that it was a public service. And when they would ask me to elaborate, I would say, well, really, for 20 years, just been trying to keep my friends out of other people's houses. So this was her bedroom, and there was no door on it. So we slept in the bedroom right next door. Me, my wife, and Exhaustion. Exhaustion, it was my constant companion at that time of my life. I worked 16-hour days, climbing through attics, drilling holes down, breathing insulation and all that, working really hard, trying to pay for this house, trying to make a living. And so one day I came home after a 16-hour day. It was 11 o'clock at night. There was no door in this bedroom. Me and Exhaustion took a shower, and then we climbed into bed right over there. And I was just laying there so tired. I was so tired I could cry. You know what kind of tired? Like I just felt like if I could find a puddle, I would just sit in it and cry for a while. I was that tired. I just needed some sleep. I didn't need a ton of sleep. I just needed just a morsel of sleep, just a modicum of sleep, just like a molecule of sleep. That's all I needed. I had to have it. But I was being denied this cure for my exhaustion because my daughter was 15 years old and in this room, and she was on the phone with her best friend. And that was a real issue because they were laughing. Now, I am in the comedy business, I guess you'd say, but I know a fair amount about laughter. And there's a lot of different kinds of laughter. But the laughter of a 15-year-old girl on the phone with her best friend is a sound that is not like any other sound on the planet Earth. And I'm laying in bed. I'm so tired I could cry. I could hear the 5 a.m. setting on my alarm clock actually taunting me. I'm going to ring as soon as you close your eyes, big guy, so get used to that. And I'm just begging for some sleep, and I can't get any because my daughter is screaming with laughter on the phone with her friend. So I decided I have to do something about it. So I conjure up my two available dad identities. The first one is the blusterer. You know, the guy that likes to yell, that guy. He thinks that's the way to get things done. So I call him up and I think if I gave him the job, what would happen? If I take this dad persona and I use him in this situation, what will happen? And I know what would happen. He would storm over to this door right here. No door then. I put the door on after she moved out. That's right. Now, he would storm over there and he would say, I am trying to get some sleep here. You don't care that I have to get up at 5 in the morning. Why should you? You get to sleep till noon. All you ever think about is yourself. It would never even occur to you that other people might be living in this house. Then I would raise my dictatorial muscle and say, hang up that phone right now. And then, boys and girls, there would be quiet. Quiet anger, quiet anger, quiet resentment, and quiet plotting of revenge. You see, Tad number one always gets much more quiet than he bargained for. That's because he's 100% bluster and 0% circumspection. He loses the battle. He wins the battle at the expense of the war. He's a pawn of exhaustion, and he spends his life in this vicious cycle of explosive bravado, followed by the need to apologize for it. Right? So I think, okay, maybe dad number one's not the guy for this job. So I conjure up my other dad identity, dad number two. This dad is still driven by exhaustion. He's still motivated by exhaustion. He's still a pawn of exhaustion, but he lacks the will to fight. He's not a fighter. Instead, he's a pleader. He's a pleader. His method is to look as pitiful as possible and to speak in a defeated monotone. So if I brought him over here, he would go over like this. Ariel, that's my daughter's name. Ariel, I have to get up early. Please, if you love me, if you still have any love in your heart for me, please take the phone and go downstairs. And although sad and I don't know what else you could say about him. Just kind of sad, right? At least if he gets the job done, he won't do it in a way that I'll have to apologize for later. So I go, dad number 2, he's the guy for the job. So I conjure up my defeated monotone. I roll it around in my mouth. I'm getting ready to get out of bed and address the situation when a hitherto unknown door in my mind opens up, and out steps dad number 3. He speaks. He says, dad number 1 is mean, and dad number 2 is sad. He goes, the problem here is not with the sounds in this house, it's with the way you are choosing to hear them. And I think to myself, great, dad number 3 is a philosopher. I say, is this going to take long? I really need to get some sleep here. He tells me to shut up, and he continues. He says, let's take a look at what we actually have here. He goes, you're about to get ready to go curtail the sounds of laughter in your house. Is this really what you want? Don't you know that the sounds in a home are part and parcel of the memories that are created there, and that quiet is what happens in a home when you are alone in it? Be careful how much of this you wish for, Dawn White. That's right, I'm on a first name basis with my imaginary dads. I shall continue. Now, then he says it again. The problem here is not with the sounds in this house. It's with the way you are choosing to hear them. And then I have to tell you, all you beautiful little squares, I got it. Like I had one of those like great big white lights of understanding. Like I just had a complete understanding of what was happening. And I asked myself this question: what kind of a father can't go to sleep to the sound of his daughter laughing? And instantly, it was as if the asking of the question initiated the metamorphosis. All the sounds coming from my daughter's room, from this room right here, were transformed. They became music. They became summer rain. I lay back and I let them wash over me. All the pores in my body opened up and absorbed them, and I drank in the miracle of my daughter's teenage laughter. It was magic. It was giddy. It was a sound so complete that it was as if every one of her molecules was laughing. It was all one glorious symphony, light and lovely. And she sings me to sleep with laughter. And I dream, oh man, I dream the dreams of a peaceful man. I dream of music and little birds on delicate breaths of wind. And when I wake up in the morning, I'm not just renewed, I'm reborn. I'm a new person. Exhaustion is gone and will not return until the day has beat the zest out of me. And I lay in the bed thinking about my day ahead of me. And I thought about the home that I was raised in, and I wondered if I had the wherewithal or the inclination to count them, if my memories of laughter would outnumber my memories of people yelling. I think about that for a minute, climb out of bed, put on my work boots. They still got insulation on them from the attic I was in the night before. I walk over to this door right here and I gaze upon the sleeping figure of my teenage daughter, beautiful and at peace. And I whistle a tune, one of her favorite pop songs. And I walk down the hallway, get in my van, and begin my day. And that is my story.
Hey, Dawn.
Cool story, Dawn.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, man. Thanks. You guys are awesome. It's a good crowd tonight. You probably think I like all the Zoom crowds. I don't. But I'm liking this one. This one is making me feel good. All right. So, here's my new song. This is a song for the people at the pantry. This is a song for... I'm not going to talk about too much, just briefly. This is a song that I just felt like people who aren't nurtured well by their parents because their parents have problems or whatever, they don't see a lot of kindness and nurturing, and somehow become kind and nurturing. They always seem like an unappreciated miracle to me. So this is my song for them. I'm going to put my glasses on because I may need to read some lyrics here. Hang on. Because it's pretty new. But I want to put this out to the people doing the good work at the food pantry, because, you know, when you see somebody that's come up rough, but they didn't turn out the hard way that they were raised, that they found compassion when they didn't know any, they found kindness when they weren't taught that, you know, it's important to acknowledge that, I think. And so here's a song for them. were taught by your world that empathy and kindness were the kind of things that made a person weak. They said push and grab and fight every minute of your life, and trample those between you and what you believe you need. But from the moment you were born, in your heart there was a song you could hear through all the years of fear and insecurity, singing cruelty is always weak, but love and empathy are strong enough to break the chain of selfishness and greed. Gentle is the strongest thing to be. It's not the color of your eyes, it's not your hypnotizing smile, it's not any of the many things that everyone can see. It's the way you always knew what they told you wasn't true. It's how you made yourself the person that they taught you not to be. Now that's what makes you beautiful to me. You know it is not your fault that heroin and alcohol made them both too ill to give their children what they really need. But man, it sure would have been nice to be encouraged once or twice, to feel safe at night, or to have a life with just a little normalcy. But from the moment you were born, in your heart there was a song you could hear through all those years of fear and insecurity. When there's hatred in your heart, you just remember who you are, and that underneath the weight of hate, your heart cannot be free. Forgiving is the stronger thing to be. It's not the color of your eyes, it's not your hypnotizing smile, it's not any of the many things that everyone can see. It's the way you always knew what they told you wasn't true. It's how you made yourself the person that they taught you not to be. That's what makes you beautiful to me. You know, a young man's eyes find beauty in what is on the surface, not within. He will pass by what is beautiful to be near the thing that shines. But these old man's eyes see beauty in the story, in the journey. They have seen too much to be fooled by what attracts a young man's eyes. From the moment you were born, in your heart there was a song you could hear through all the years of fear and insecurity. There is nothing that this world could do to crush the love inside of you. Under neglect, abuse, and selfishness, you were caring, kind, and generous. It is the lonely road that brought you here. It's how all alone you persevered. It's the defiance and tenacity of your heart song of humanity. That's what makes you beautiful. That's what makes you beautiful. That's what makes you beautiful to me.
Oh, Dawn.
That's beautiful, Dawn.
Woo! Nice job, Dawn. Love
Great.
it.
All right.
Love it.
Thank you. It's pretty new, but I'm feeling it now. I mean, every week I've been working on it, so now I'm starting to feel it now, and it's wordy and impossible, but it's a folk show. All right. So I try to, because a bunch of people come every week to this, so I try to dig up some old relic that I haven't played in 20 years. So here's one for you, for Sarah and Neil and Jennifer and all these folks that come all the time. So let me give you a backdrop for this, and I'll play this for Kat and for all the musicians here too. Like, my life is kind of played out now. I have this little career. People know who I am. Inside of Route 128. Some little pockets around the country, but I can make a living at it. But I didn't know it was possible. I wouldn't have. I was terrified that I wouldn't be able to do this for a living. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know anything. And I had this job as a custodian in a nursing home, and I would just write these songs thinking about, how am I going to do this? How am I going to, how's it going to go? So the song is called Two Gray Hairs, which is hilarious because, you'd be hard pressed to find two black hairs in this head now. But let's see, I was 20 something years ago. Oh, there was a long time ago I wrote this song. So you have to picture me, minus about 50 pounds and all this gray. And I'm trying to hope that I can have a career someday. Maybe if I work hard enough and I keep writing good songs and I tell good stories and I'm entertaining and fun and can contribute something to the world. Maybe someday I'll be able to play in my daughter's old bedroom to a computer screen.
And look, you did it.
Maybe. If only that were possible. If only, like I could hear myself saying, "Slow down, Sparky." Like, don't dream too high. All right, so here we go. This is me. I don't know what it was about this morning. So we know what I look back on this, I think that this is one of the things that I had even as a kid. So I was really nervous and upset about this, but I have always been able to find humor, some self-deprecating humor, or some way of not ignoring the problem, but breaking the tension with humor. And I didn't realize that until I started practicing this thing today, that I was doing it in my early 20s. So here we go. I don't know what it was about this morning that had me wondering where my dreams had gone. I think I'd feel better if I could write them a letter and ask them where they've been so long. I'm afraid to think I've just accepted my position in society, just hoping that when the big ship comes in, a little bit'll trickle down to me. Little bit'll trickle down to me. And two gray hairs in my mustache keep singing this song to me. We sure hate to be the ones to be bringing you this rude awakening. But if you don't get down to doing all of the things that are on your mind, the next thing that you know, you'll be 80 years old, you'll be wishing that you had more time. When my co-workers at the diner ask me about my music career, I say it's going all right. I worked last night, I made $10 free and clear. I even got half price off on beer. Then I say, all I need now is enough money to make an album of the songs I write. Then I keep sweeping floors, and I keep getting poorer. And when I am alone at night, I can hardly express the fright that I feel when I think I might be pushing this broom for the rest of my life. And two gray hairs in my mustache are singing this song to me. We sure hate to be the ones to be bringing you this rude awakening. But if you don't get down to doing all of the things that are on your mind, the next thing that you know, you'll be 80 years old, you'll be wishing that you had more time. I had a nightmare last evening. It blew me right out of my bed. An orderly man came in to empty my pan. I looked up at him and I said, said, well, all I need now is enough money to make an album of the songs I write. I'd send it around to the boys downtown. I'd be a superstar overnight. He said, sure, Mr. White. Does your catheter feel too tight? Doesn't your cream of wheat taste right? I see you've hardly touched a single bite. Your 2 gray hairs in my mustache keep singing this song to me when we sure hate to be the ones to be bringing you this rude awakening. But if you don't get down to doing all of the things that are on your mind, the next thing that you know, you'll be living at the home, you'll be wishing that you had more time. You'll be saying, oh, I need a little more time. I got this album on my mind. Tell the Grim Reaper I feel fine. Give me a little more time. What do you think of that?
Yeah, Don, awesome.
Fun. Woo!
Deep tracks. That's right, we're doing deep tracks for tonight.
Nice.
That was fun.
So I played that for somebody, my wife. My wife heard me play that, and she's like, well, that was really funny before you actually had a catheter. I've had one of them now. Not so funny now. I go, no, it's hilarious. It's even more hilarious now. All right. More catheter jokes, you say? I don't have any more. Sorry. All right, I'm gonna play 2 more songs and then we'll take a break. And just a 3-minute break. We'll put the screen up so you can donate. And again, I say this every week. If you don't have any money, I love you and don't worry about it. You are always welcome where I am. And I mean that, like, when this is over and we can go back to gigs and I'm playing at the Homegrown and you want to come but you're out of work or you don't have any money, you just call me. Send me an email. You can come to the show. I've been without money in my life more than with it. So let me just say that right away. No pressure for anything. But if you're doing okay and you want to help out the Dawn White Ramen Noodle Fund and the Homegrown Coffeehouse and feed some people in the community there, then we'll put that up there and you can do that. You can write a check if you're ancient like me and you can't figure out PayPal, or you can do it the high-tech way. Money just comes from your bank to mine like magic. It's magic. Okay, so... All right, this is my song that I play every week. I apologize to everybody, but I can't wait to get in front of a real audience and play this. I am going to have everybody singing the chorus of this thing. I have big plans for this thing, so that's why I'm playing it every week, just because I can picture this as being epic in a real crowd. Okay, so this is about I don't care. I'm not even going to explain it. Here we go. I sat around with a bunch of stoners. I listened to them talk all night long. They were sure that their conversation was deep with meaning. They were wrong, 'cause when you smoke it, it makes you stupid. I thought you knew it, but I was wrong. We're not having a conversation. This is nothing at all. My friend Harry lit up a fatty to celebrate my brand new job. I watched his brain float out of my window. He left me talking to an empty blob. 'Cause when you smoke it, it makes you stupid. I thought you knew it, but I was wrong. We're not having a conversation. This is nothing at all. Alright, I'm going to get into character now. So let me just say this. I normally would say at the beginning of this, I don't smoke this stuff myself, but I'm glad it's legal. It doesn't matter to me. I just don't want you talking to me while you're under the influence of it. I'd rather hit myself in the head with a hammer. I'm just saying. All right. All right. So we're in the basement. We're in our 20s. We're in somebody's mom's basement. They're away. There's a ton of smoke in the room. We're having deep thoughts because we're in our 20s and we're under the influence, and we're thinking profound thoughts. And through the haze, I can see my best friend over there. He's going to speak. He's going to say something that's going to change all of our lives. So let me droop my eyes a little bit. All right. And let me slow the chords down to stoner speed. Wait a minute. That's too fast. Oh, still. All right, here we go. There we go. All right. Okay, here we go. What if our whole life was just a dream, man? What if we're dreaming this right now? I forgot what I was just saying. Let's order pizza. Pizza. Wow. 'Cause when you smoke it, it makes you stupid. I thought you knew it, but I was wrong. We're not having conversation. This is nothing. Nothing at all. It cures glaucoma. Cures insomnia. Some people say it's a cancer cure. But it does not cure incoherent conversation. That's for sure.
Hey, Don!
Sometimes when I play that, that makes the stoners mad at me, and you know what they do when they're mad is they put the little angry icon up. You know, the little circle with the hot cheeks. It's hilarious. It's just hilarity. Angry stoners are hilarious. Okay, so one more song, and then take a short break. You can donate, help out me and the community there, and of course the coffee house. I'm going to play this one here. I'm going to practice this because, let's see, in 2 weeks, is it 2 weeks? I think it's the 15th or the 22nd, one of these dates coming up. I'm doing a show, and the partner that week is going to be an organization in New Hampshire that that takes care of and supports battered women. It's like a spousal abuse group, right? And I love these people so much. I've worked for them many times over the years, and my friend runs the place. And so I'm gonna sing this song. I don't know, not sure that I've ever sang this, Sarah, or you guys, maybe one time in the after party. But this is called The Painter, and so I'll do this, and then we'll take a break, and I'll be back in 3 minutes after that, and I'll play till about 20 past or 25 past, and then we'll have an after party. We've got some really exciting people to hang around after. So those of you that are new to this thing, this is the way it works. I'm done with my part of it probably by 25 past or thereabouts. And then if you want to hang around, we have a song circle with surprise guests. Of course, Kat will come back and perform for us, but I believe we have 3 other, I don't want to boost them up too much, you know what I mean? But if I was you, I'd hang around. But doesn't matter though. You know what I mean? We're going to be having a good time. If you're here, if you're in your square, or if you're not. So if your square is black, we'll still be having a good time. All right. But anyway, that'll go to about 9:30 or maybe a little later, and then we'll be done. But this is all about creating community, simulating community, right? This is what we missed when we couldn't get together. We couldn't, and so after that, if you want to hang around 9:30 to 10, we just talk. Just everybody here. If you know each other, we'll just chat because that's the job here. All right. Hang on.
You don't want to miss the after party, people. I'm telling you.
All right, Sarah's my advocate.
I'll second what Sarah said.
All right. Now I owe you both money, right? All right.
Here you go.
In this portrait of sadness in the big gallery, there is a man in the foreground in such misery, but the horizon behind him is vibrant and bright. We see him staring into darkness, but covered in light. If I were the painter, I would paint you with wings, and I would dress you in the colors that come in the spring. And when your heart was in darkness and you were alone, I'd paint sunshine around you and wings to carry you home. In this portrait of anger and low self-esteem, we see a woman in danger of a life without dreams. And as I stare at her shoulders, Lord, all I can see is this mountain of a burden where wings ought to be. If I were the painter, I would paint you with wings, and I would dress you in the colors that come in the spring. And when your heart was in darkness and you were alone, I'd paint sunshine around you and wings to carry you home. This face in the mirror, this portrait of me, is constantly changing for the whole world to see. But the hand on the brushes that color this face is the hand that belongs to the person it paints. If I am the painter, I will paint me with wings, and I will dress me in the colors that come in the spring. And when my heart is in darkness and I am alone, I will paint sunshine around me and wings to carry me home. I will paint sunshine around me and wings to carry me home.
Beautiful, Don.
Thanks, Don.
Love that song.
Beautiful.
Love that song.
Oh, me too. Me too.
Okay, I love you all. We'll see you in 3 minutes.
I don't know. Yes.
hello everyone. So, hello to everyone here in the Zoom part of this thing. Hi, Kara. I'm glad you can make it. Good. It's not right without you. Raise your hand so we can get you unmuted if you want. Raise your blue hand there. So I was reading the chat there, and I see that my friend Tim Murphy is here. He's coming in from Colorado, and it's his anniversary this week, I guess, or anyway, he's pretty close to it. So he's been married a fair amount of time too, but I don't think he's going to mind me telling you. I'm just going to very quickly give you a synopsis of why he's a superhero. So he had all kinds of challenges with cancer, and they eventually, I'm just going to just put this into bite size, right? And he'll give you maybe if you hang around later, maybe we'll talk about this. But he basically, after a certain point, was so sick from cancer that they just told him, put your affairs in order. And they handed him a piece of paper, said, here, maybe there's a trial someplace, go see if that works for you. But he, he'd been through everything, and these stories end so poorly so often, right? So then I expected that I'd be, that he'd be gone. And I went and I got a call from him, and he was 100% better. He's a super responder. He's a super responder. They gave him a trial drug or something, and he's just like, we're gonna make T-shirts that are gonna say SR on them for him, right? So we hear these stories all the time, and they end the way you'd expect them to end. But I'm telling you now, there's a guy in one of these squares named Tim Murphy, and he's a super responder, and he beat all the odds. He was basically gone, he's back. So how about a nice round of applause for the miraculous Tim Murphy?
Hey, Tim, and happy anniversary.
Good Tim. Good Tim.
Right. So I don't know what to do. All right. Should have a plan, I think. Why start now?
Yeah, really.
Here.
Well, I can't.
I bought this guitar in 1978 when I got married. There was a little bit of money left after, and my wife bought a fancy pair of boots, a real nice pair of boots, and I bought this guitar, and it's been with me ever since. When I play this guitar, it feels like part of me, it's like, and I've abused it tremendously. I've left it in the car in Texas, and it cooked, like it was like I baked guitar at the end of that day. I left it by the side of the road one time in Salem, and some kid picked it up and brought it to my house. How about that? I haven't given it a name or anything, but I don't travel with it. I don't fly with it. And this guitar cost $400. That other guitar cost 5 times that, right? And I'll fly with that, because if I lost that one, it wouldn't be like losing a family member. Like if the airlines lost it. Send this out to Pete Seeger, because I love Pete Seeger, and anybody who fights for working people, like my friend Kara. There she is right there. All the work gets done in the valley, all the money rains down on the mountain top. When the money trickles down to the people in the valley, it's only one little drop to feed the family, one little drop to pay the medical bill, one little drop to pay the mortgage to the banker who sold it to the man at the top of the hill. Oh, they work so hard to divide us with a steady stream of lies. 'Cause if we ever stop fighting with each other, we might start asking each other why. If all the work gets done in the valley, why does all the money rain down on the mountain top when the money trickles down to the people in the valley? Why is it just a little drop? One little drop to feed the family, one little drop to pay the medical bill, one little drop to pay the mortgage to the banker who sold it to the man at the top of the hill. Just keep buying those politicians and those TV newsmen too. Make them say every day that my problem is my neighbor when I know that my problem is you. Just keep lying about corporate tax breaks, how the jobs are gonna trickle down. But beware of the day when the people say that they are sick of being trickled on. One little drop to feed the family, one little drop to pay the medical bill, one little drop to pay the mortgage to the banker who sold it to the man at the top of the hill. Enjoy your view of the valley from that house on top of the hill. 'Cause right now the giant is sleeping. That doesn't mean that it always will. 'Cause when the sleeping giant starts moving, it is impossible to stop. Every flood that ever washed a city away started with a little drop. One little drop will start an ocean. One little drop will start a wave. One little drop will start a flood that's coming to wash the gilded city away. If all of the work gets done in the valley, why does all the money rain down on the mountain top? When the money trickles down to the people in the valley, why is it just a little drop? There you go.
Woo. Yeah.
Everybody still muted, Brandon? Is that what's up now?
Some people are. We've got a lot of background noise going in chatting, so.
You want me to yell some more, Dylan?
Those of you that are unmuted, say something so I can hear you. Just
Hey,
call.
Don.
Hey, Don.
Sarah, go ahead. Say something.
Hi, Don.
Hey, hope it's going well.
Oh, it's me. I'm muted on this side. There we go.
Oh, hi, Don.
Hi, welcome. So glad to see you. I couldn't hear you. I didn't know what was going on. You know what happened? Somebody on this end was kind of dopey. All right. I'll have to fire myself. All right. All right. Two songs, and then we'll go to the after party. I want to thank everybody that donated. It looks like the donations are pretty good. I mean, I know things are hard, so when people donate whatever they can, it means a lot to me. So we're not expecting to get rich here. We want to throw some money at the food pantry and keep things going, and I want to be able to give my wife some grocery money. That's it, right? But we really want to get together and to remember that we're all in this together. So here's one. I know a wife and a husband. They had a shiny little kid. When that kid turned 16, you won't believe what he did. Smoked a lot of marijuana. He snorted cocaine too. Then he told his parents he was gonna drop out of school. The father pounded on the table. The mother hollered and she screamed. They ran him down to the doctor. Doctor, what does this mean? He put them all on Prozac. Right then and right there. He said, you'll still have your problems, but now you just won't care. He prescribed a little therapy, some supplementary drugs, but he didn't write a script out for a little more love, just a little more love. What the heck could it hurt? It might not fix nothing, at least it won't make things worse. When you're looking at your lifetime from the end when you are done, you know it might look a little better. See a little little more love. I know a wife and a husband, and they had a shiny little kid. When that kid turned 16, you won't believe what she did. She said, "Mom, I'm sleeping over Susan's." That was just a big lie, 'cause what she really was doing was staying out all night. And when her parents found out, they cried boo-hoo-hoo. Then they called the radio talk show. They asked him, "What should we do?" He said, "Send her off to boot camp." That was his advice. It was good for his ratings, but it wasn't very nice. Just a little more love. What the heck could it hurt? It might not fix nothing. At least it won't make things worse. When you're looking at your lifetime from the end when you are done, you know it might look a little better. See a little more love. I can see that you're a tough guy. You won't be pushed around. You're not gonna take it. You're good at putting your foot down. You might get killed by lightning. You might get hit by a truck. But if you're not that lucky, you might just wind up spending years in a rest home without a whole lot to do. But look back on what you did with the time God gave you. Just a little more love. What the heck could it hurt? It might not fix nothing, at least it won't make things worse. When you're looking at your lifetime from the end when you're done, it might look a little better. Big, rough, tough guy to see a little more love. It might look a little better. See a little more love.
Woo! All right, John.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This has been good fun. They're always fun, but this was especially good fun. You're a lovely group. I can't wait to get out there in that part of the state again and see you all. We're going to end with this song. I want to just say this. Like I do this every Thursday. I haven't missed a Thursday since March. But I decided today that the first Thursday in November is 2 days after the election. I think I'm taking that day off. I feel the pressure of all of this, what's going on in the world. I feel it. And I want to be, I can't fake being positive. So in these days, I stay off of television, I read, I think about all the things that I have that are good and positive in my world. I think about all the love that's around me, all the people that support me, and all the people that I'm lucky enough to be able to support. And I try to bring that to you because I know you'll know if I'm faking it, right? But I'm just taking that day off. I'm just telling you now, I might need to be in bed for that week. Anyway, there's a lot of pressure out there. People who weren't doing good before COVID and all that stuff, they're not, check in on them. That's all, check in on them. Use the humble telephone. Call them. You might be the only person they talk to this month, right? I just called my friend Eileen. She was so happy to talk to me. I know she's alone, and I just think that there's a lot of opportunity to do for small things to do a lot in this world. So this is a song called Angel in Pieces. It's about believing in people when they're not well enough to believe in themselves, and I know that you're all doing that. I'll do this. We'll take another shorter break, 2 minutes or so. If you get a chance to donate, do that, and then we'll have a nice after party and a song circle and some conversation and some community. She walked into the room like she was walking off a cliff. In my mind I said, what kind of shattered angel is this? Her walk said, I've surrendered. Her face, I've had enough. Her eyes were holes, they were dark and cold. They said, I've given up. I saw an angel in pieces, as if the pieces all fell from the sky. I said in my heart, I believe this sad angel someday will fly. Life rains down so hard upon some people that we know. It tears their faith and their hope away, and they walk around like ghosts, and we see them as they are breaking, and as their spirit dies, but deep inside we still believe they will come alive and fly. I saw an angel in pieces, as if the pieces all fell from the sky. Said in my heart, I believe this sad angel someday will fly. Now she walks across the room like she could walk across the sky. And those old dark eyes, they are so alive, they set the room on fire. This is no shattered angel, I say to myself. I feel Zuzu's petals, I hear one small bell. I saw an angel in pieces, as if the pieces all fell from the sky. I said in my heart, I believe this sad angel someday will fly. Look how beautiful you are. Thanks for another great Thursday.
Oh,
everybody.
beautiful, Dawn. That song. Oh, beautiful.
All right, 2 minutes. If you can donate, donate. If not, don't worry. If you got a long ride home, go ahead, get a head start. But if you want to hang around with us, there's some really interesting, fun people to hang around with. And we'll be back in 2 with a song circle and some chat.
After party, woo!
All right, let the games begin, ladies and gentlemen. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go around twice. I think there's four folks, four special guests here. We're gonna start with. So everybody will do a song the first time, and then the second time around, assuming that everybody that plays wants to hang around for a second one, we'll chat a little bit. And in the meantime, in the chat rooms and all of that, you'll be able to find out where these folks are playing and what they're up to. So and I brag about you, Dawn White's audience, because I know that some people will buy tickets for somebody's show right here before we're even done here. So you're good supporters. So that helps me to woo people over here because of you guys, because you're good. You support everybody. You're the best. So let's start with our friend Kat. Kat, thank you for coming and starting this thing off and setting such a fantastic tone there. And so how about you play a song for us, and then when we go around again, assuming that you're willing to hang around a little bit, we'll talk a little bit about you. How's that?
Wonderful. Thank you.
Sure.
This song is called River of the Souls. Will I ever get to heaven where the angels fly? Strum a harp on a cloud way up in the sky. Will I go down to hell for eternity? With the red-horned devil always torturing me? Changing, turning on it flow. Where it stopped, nobody knows. We all got a ticket on a one-way road, the river of the souls. Will my spirit be my body? Will my old soul have a plan to be reincarnated, do it over again? Bound to the earth is a ghost to roam, come and haunt you now and then so that you're not alone. Changing, turning on it flow. Where it stopped, nobody knows. We all got a ticket on a one-way road, river of the souls. Someday when I meet my maker, she set me free of pain. All I want is to be waiting for you, see you again, see you again. Yeah, changing, turning on it flow. Where it stopped, nobody knows. We all got a ticket on a one-way road, river of the souls, the river of the souls, the river of the souls.
Beautiful,
Wow,
Todd.
that was beautiful.
Oh, love it. Love it.
Man, wow. What power. What you guys are great, man. I can't believe that we've been bouncing around this scene together and we haven't crossed paths. But you know what? That happens all the time. Like all my musician friends, when I get somewhere, I see they were just there or they're coming the next week. That's how it goes, right? But I'm gonna hunt you down. So you hang around and we'll go around one time and then we'll talk a little bit. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Let's hear it one more time for Kat.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great.
All right, so now I want to introduce somebody that I met for the first time at Soundcheck today, and this is somebody I've been watching for quite a while. I mean, I'm a fan of the music, and it's so diverse and so it's just I'm just so delighted that she's here. So please welcome Chris Matthews.
Chris.
Thanks so much. Thank you, Don. All right. Well, I think I'm gonna start here. I've been playing this song a lot lately, and it feels like a good place to start after the debates the other night. This song is called "Call Them In," and I wrote this for the one and only Mr. John Lewis.
Yeah.
The battle lines are drawn, and once again, somebody's saying, "Wait, be patient." If they knew how long it would be before all people could truly hear freedom ring, I wonder which end of that moral arc would they choose. I wonder if more would have walked in his shoes. This is what revolution looks like. You gotta get in and stay in this fight. You've got to find a way to get in the way. Speak out every day. Freedom riders or letter writers, do what you can, just shine your light brighter. Somebody called him a saint among men, a founding father, an icon, a legend. Ordinary people with such extraordinary vision in a country so young, hard pressed on every single side, but not crushed, saying, "In God, love, and country we trust." This is what revolution looks like. You gotta get in and stay in this fight. You've got to find a way to get in the way. Speak out every day. Freedom riders or letter writers, do what you can, just shine your light brighter. Make good trouble every chance you get. Eyes on the prize, we're not finished yet. Don't tolerate injustice, my friends. Call them out, but then call them in. If you see something that's not right, not fair, stand up and say we can do better. He said, I may not be with you when we reach the other side, so let the power of love everlasting be your guide. 'Cause this is what revolution looks like. You gotta get in, then stay in this fight. This is what revolution looks like. Get in, then stay in this fight. You've got to find a way to get in the way. Speak out every day. Freedom riders or letter writers, do what you can, just shine your light brighter. Make good trouble every chance you get. Eyes on the prize, we're not finished yet. Don't tolerate injustice, my friends. Call them out, but then call them in. Call them in. Find a way to get in the way. Speak out every day. Make good trouble every chance you get. Make good trouble every chance you get. Make good trouble every chance you get.
Oh, man.
Woo!
Awesome, Chris.
All right,
Oh,
Very
my
much.
God.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was fantastic.
It
Thank you
was.
so
Thanks.
much.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
Make good trouble, man. John Lewis, that guy. Oh man. So will you hang around if we go around one more time?
Yeah, totally. Yep,
then
absolutely.
we'll chat a little bit. That was really, really great. Thank you. Let's hear it again for Chris, please.
All right, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right. Look at me like the MC that's keeping it moving. All right. Everyone has a long ride home. We got to just keep right on going here. So now I see David and Livy are here. So Mustard's Retreat. Are you guys, how are you feeling over there in square number 21? There you are. Look at you.
Yeah.
Hey,
Right.
Hi, Chris.
David, tilt the camera down a little bit before you get started.
Well, yeah, okay.
Or grow.
Yeah, we're that.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
So nice to be here tonight.
Good to see you. Good
You
to see
both.
you.
You know, it's
What are we gonna do? I don't know what he's gonna do.
We just recorded an hour show for a library, and so it's like. But I got thinking as we did this song. I wrote this many years ago, but especially after everything, I wanted to dedicate this to, the 205 plus thousand people who are gone from COVID, and really to their families. Joe Biden said, he was talking right to people. He said there's so many people with an empty spot at the tables. And it just made me think of this song. I mean, we are on the Defiantly Hopeful tour, and then it doesn't look like it's going to stop. But we'd rather be here. This is our community of choice. In the heart of the winter, the year I turned 10, my father, he took sick and died. With a scratchy old farm, 6 kids and lean times, Mama fought pretty hard to get by. Spring was turned into summer when a man came traveling through. Said he worked till the harvest was all stored away, and a meal and a room it would do. It was that or the banks, so my mom signed him on. His name was Jeremy Brown. On the front porch we'd gather when dinner was done, and the evening was settling down. And he'd tell us his stories of traveling, sing of old friends and places he'd been. And he mended our hearts on those long summer nights, and taught me to smile once again. He'd sing, ooh, there's a time and a place for goodbyes. It's a sad and a sweet thing to cry, yes, to cry how I've cried. But the answers, they'll come by and by. He worked hard as 2 men, was quick with a grin, though a distance remained in his eyes. And he never did say why he took to the road, and we knew well enough not to pry. But he understood how I was feeling, or at least to me, that's how it seemed. And late in the night, as I lay in my bed, his songs, they'd run through my dreams, singing, ooh, there's a time and a place for goodbyes. Ooh, it's a sad and a sweet thing to cry, yes, to cry how I've cried. But the answers, they'll come by and by. October it came, the last corn was in, and Jeremy packed up to go. Heading down south was about all he would say. If he'd be back, he just didn't know. But I think that I knew as he held me, when somehow I could smile through the tears, that if I needed a friend, I would find him again in this song that I've sung all these years. I sing, ooh, there's a time and a place for goodbyes. Ooh, it's a sad and a sweet thing to cry, yes, to cry how I've cried. And the answers, they've come by and by. There's a time and a place for goodbyes. It's a sad and a sweet thing to cry, yes, to cry how I've cried. And the answers, they've come by and by.
Beautiful, David. Libby.
Oh, Libby and David.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Folks.
Thanks, Libby. Thanks, David.
Yeah.
You guys sound good together. I think this is going to work out.
Yeah.
Thanks, Don.
Yeah, I know it's new and everything, but I think it's going to work. I think.
I bet I'm in for the group too.
Let's hear it one more time for Mustard's Retreat. And
Hey, you guys. Awesome.
And so now, ladies and gentlemen, the cavalcade of stars at the Dawn White After Party now. Cleverly disguised as John G. There he is right there, all the way from Minnesota.
Hello. Hi.
Welcome, John Gorka.
Hey, John.
Hello. Nice to see you all.
John.
Nice to hear you.
John, how are you doing out there, buddy?
I guess I'm doing all right. I'm sorry I didn't make the sound check. I'm glad I made this part.
Well, we know that your sound is going to be good, John. And pretty soon you're going to have that cable to your house too, right?
What's that?
So you're going to have better cables sometime soon, right?
Yeah, they're installing fiber optic cable on our road, but I don't know when it will make it to the house. But it's a positive sign because we've had DSL, and it's not optimal for music. Okay, should I sing a song?
If you would.
All right. This is the title song of my third record that came out a long time ago in the late 1900s. And this is a song called Jack's Crows. Jack's crows are loud in the morning. They're critical of other birds. Farmers don't appreciate him, though they don't say it in so many words. Jack's crows, Jack's crows, where everybody's from and nobody goes. That's where you're gonna find Jack's crows. Jack's crows have a bad reputation. Some of them are known as thieves. They're involved in strange celebrations, magic on All Hallows Eve. Jack's Crows, Jack's Crows, where everybody's from and nobody goes. That's where you're gonna find Jack's Crows. Jack's Crows are all very ancient, no relation to the crows of Jim. Jim was driven to the shadows, but now you're seeing more of him. Jack's Crows, Jack's Crows, where everybody's from and nobody goes. That's where you're gonna find Jack's Crows. Jack's Crows are in for a murder. A murder is a gathering. Some stop, some go a little further. Some eat what the others bring. Jack's Crows, Jack's Crows, where everybody's from and nobody goes. That's where you're gonna find Jack's Crows.
Beautiful, John.
So
Whoa.
much. Oh,
Oh, it's stunning.
wow.
Thank you.
That was wonderful.
Beautiful,
John,
John.
Man, that's so good. You sure know how to set a mood, I'll tell you.
Thanks. I think it's kind of an October song.
Yes, yes. So you'll hang around and we'll go around one more
Oh, yeah.
time. Thank you so much. John does puts videos up and all that, so we have his information in the chat where you can see what he's up to and what he's doing. So everybody check that out. Let's hear it one more time for John Gorka, please.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, John.
All right, so Kat, let's talk a little bit. Where are you, girl? So let's get her spotlighted over there. So talk to me a little bit. So you grew up in Newton, and let's see, been playing the Boston scene, but toured a bit. Did you? Did I read that today that you toured quite a bit at one point? Yeah.
Yep. I've done some touring in the U.S. and quite a bit of touring overseas in Europe some years ago. Kind of like getting back into what I'm doing. I have a almost 6-year-old and an almost 3-year-old daughter, and I've been, trying like writing and resurrecting old songs. And the next song that I'm going to do actually is one that I played years ago when Jim Sargent at the Homegrown Coffeehouse was having a open mic contest. And whoever won the open mic contest got to be an opener for one of the main acts. So I showed up one night and I played this next tune that I'm gonna play, and I resurrected the song, Jim. I don't know, just I think with Chris being around and me just kind of going through my stuff, and like I couldn't figure out why I let that one go. And then when I brought it back around, it was like, oh, this is why, because Jason asked me to come and play, and I didn't know that yet. So that's why it came back.
You didn't just win that open mic contest. I mean, the other people playing just said, "Oh, she wins! That's awesome! So good."
Oh.
But that's one of the things about places like the Homegrown is they're not just venues. They're places where people can develop and they have a commitment to the community. And there's a half a dozen venues in the New England where they really helped me in those days go play an open mic and let you open for somebody, you take them away. It's a much harder job.
Yeah.
So when these things, when we lose them, we lose something significant. So grateful to Jim and his wife for doing this for all these years, and bringing and developing and giving an opportunity for people like Kat. So let's hear this tune that was put on ice for a decade or something, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
My life was very different when I wrote this song compared to how it is now, but it still has a lot of meaning for me. Trying to get through the hard times and waiting for the good to come around again. It's called Come Around. Sorry. See?
Continues to blow. Winter is not letting go. There's ice on the trees, a draft under the door, a patch of sunlight on my living room floor. I sit right here until the sun goes down. Springtime comes to this ghost of the town. Waiting is hard to do when all I dream of is you. When are you gonna come around? Come around, yeah, yeah, yeah. Sunny day in the winter time, but it won't melt the ice from this heart of mine. Frozen in time since the day you went away. I feel like loneliness is here to stay. Oh baby, now won't you come back? Oh, won't you come home now? Won't you come back, won't you come home, won't you come back around, baby? 'Cause waiting is hard to do when all I dream of is you. Waiting is hard to do. When are you gonna come around? Come around.
welcome.
Yeah, we know why you won that
We-
contest. Wow.
I'm so glad Jim didn't invite me as an open micer to that thing. I would have known you were taking the prize too. That was really great, man.
It really was. Wow.
Kat, can you introduce us again to your musician friend there?
This is the talented Chris Ledbetter.
Hey, Chris. Nice job.
Nice
Nice
job.
job, Chris.
You guys sound great together, man. So normally we're wrapping up at 9:30. We're ahead of schedule. I think there's a chance there might be another song in here, but we'll see how this goes. All right. So, but anyway, I just love what you're doing. Just love the sound of it. Thank you for getting us off to a great start tonight, and for really bringing fantastic energy. One more time for Kat.
Hey, Chris.
All right. All right. So now let me talk to Chris Matthews. Where are you? Chris, can we talk a little bit? Do you mind?
Go right ahead.
So I was reading today that you grew up in North Carolina.
I did.
And so I'm interested, if you don't, if you don't mind talking about it. Two things: the influence of all the mix of music down there. I mean, it's like, if anyone's ever been there, it's just coming out of everywhere, and it's all a little different. It's mountain music, it's bluegrass, it's country music, there's blues, there's everything. So I'm interested in how, whatever you got to say about that, and then maybe if there's somebody way back that really that you heard that influence, that made you think, oh, maybe I can do this. Right?
Okay, sure. So yeah, I am originally from the southeastern part of North Carolina. My hometown is about 40 miles from the ocean. So we have a lot of seafood down there. Good seafood always means good blues music. So that's where I grew up. And my mom is a preacher. My grandpa's a deacon. My uncle's a preacher. My great-grandpa's a preacher. So I spent a lot of time in the AME church as well. So gospel music was the first music I came to love. Yeah. And then I went to school for music education at Appalachian State, which is in Boone, which is in the Blue Ridge. So when I first started learning how to write songs, I actually learned how to write songs thick in bluegrass country. So I have quite an eclectic mix of music that kind of all stirred up to make Chris Matthews. So yeah. And then I'd say, as far as somebody that I saw playing way back that I kind of saw and was like, man, I would like to do that. There have been so many amazing folks. I would say probably one of my earliest songwriters that I actually saw and met and was like, oh my gosh, I wish I could write songs like that. I'd have to say is Chris Perica, who is actually a New Englander. So if any of you are familiar with Chris's music, yeah, just such a gorgeous songwriter, such a beautiful way of crafting imagery and just a mood. So good.
You're so lucky to be in a place where you could just absorb all of that different stuff and then make your own sound with it. It's such a treasure. So I'm really glad to meet you, and thank you so much for coming. I know that everybody's busy and all that, so I appreciate it. And we have your website, and I guess it's your Facebook stuff, right?
Yep, Facebook fan page, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all that stuff. And then I have a concert actually coming up this weekend. The nice thing about this new normal is that even if you are in California or Florida, you can come to this show at the Unitarian Church from the comfort of your home. So I think Brandon's going to drop that link in there for you.
Yeah, or London or anywhere, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Wonderful. All right, so yeah, that's all in there. People, go ahead and check her out whenever you can. So why don't you play another song for us?
Okay, sure. I'm going to play you one now called The Only Way Out. And it's inspired by that beautiful Robert Frost poem that says the only way out is through. Kind of keeping it in theme with that Cat's gorgeous song.
Mm.
It's raining while the sun is shining on. You're laughing while you're crying all alone. Choices can make your hands feel like they're tied. Failures can make you wish you never tried. You're dreaming every minute you're awake, or suffocating with every breath you take. There's beauty in the ugliest of times, so be hopeful when things go wrong, and in the end you'll find it's only life, the yin and yang, the ups and downs, the joy, the pain. It goes on with or without you, and the only way out is through. A moment can seem more like forever. You're running around but getting nowhere. The smallest things can feel larger than life. Silence can be deafening at times. You're flying with your feet on solid ground, or dying with your lifelines all around. Some kindnesses can feel so very cruel, but carry on when you don't want to. I promise this is true. It's only life, the yin and yang, the ups and downs, the joy, the pain. It goes on with or without you, and the only way out is through. Why do those who wander never seem that lost? Why do the richest among us complain the most about the cost? How is it some convince themselves that only war will bring us peace? How is it those who say the most need to speak the least? It's only life, the yin and the yang, the ups and downs, the joy, the pain. It goes on with or without you, and the only way out is through. It's only life, it's only life, it's only life, it's only life. It goes on with or without you, and the only way out. So keep on pushing your way through. Keep on climbing your way through. Keep on crawling, keep on clawing, keep on scraping, just as long as you're making your way through. It's only life, the yin and yang, the ups and downs, the joy, the pain. It goes on with or without you, and the only way out is through.
Oh, man.
Oh,
man.
Chris, that was great. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Love it. Just
That's wonderful.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks so much.
Yeah, terrific.
Chris, you are putting some really good energy into this world. I'm so glad to meet you. I
It's
think
just a pleasure.
let's I think we'll do like a lightning round after this, and so we don't keep people too long. But if you don't mind hanging around, we'll do a little bullet round one more time. But if you don't have to, it's okay. Let's hear it one more time for Chris.
So wonderful.
Great.
You
Oh man, what a night. Wow. Okay, so Mustard Retreat, where are they? Square number 14. There they are. Right. Not quite in the Paul Lynn Square, but they're over there somewhere.
We've moved up from square 21.
That's right. That one had all the
Thank you, Chris.
So, David, do you mind if I interview Libby a little bit? Is that okay?
No, I do not.
No, because the harmony person, I think sometimes they, I want to hear what they have to say. So, Libby, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Flint, Michigan. Very proud to say that.
Yeah.
I'm a product of the Flint public school system in the boom times of the 50s and the 60s, when the whole world came to Flint to learn about how we educated our children. So I was lucky enough to grow up with a piano in the living room and two sisters that were old enough to take lessons when I was little. And they came home and they played the same song all week.
Did you harmonize with your sisters?
I started playing piano very early.
What
So
about?
I could hear it
Yeah.
and I could read the black things on the paper.
Mhm.
And I put it together and I've just been thinking in harmony ever since. And I have a choral background in my school years and my church years. And that did me well too.
Well,
So-
it shows. Your harmonies are just beautiful. They're
Oh, thank you so
and
much. I
lovely.
appreciate that.
Sure, sure. And well, now we get to know a little bit about you. What do you guys got for us here? Thank you for sharing that with us too, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, you know,
And I hired him for his first job, so you know, I just
Yeah,
take
is
all
he-
that
is
credit.
he still on probation?
you.
Is he? Is he?
Said good ear. I had a good ear.
oh, you know, Chris, that was just a uplifting, you know, stick with it song. I've started to determine that until the election, I'm going to do this song at every show because it just seems like we need this more than ever now. But you know, I'm just today, I turned a corner and feeling like we got this. You know, we've all got this. You know, we're gonna make this election happen because there are more of us than there are of them. Yeah, and you know, and there's a lot of common ground, and that's what this song was written about. Mine is a simple faith. Life is a short embrace. Heaven is in this place. Every day, hope is the ground we till. Make each day what you will. Thankful for dreams fulfilled. Every day. No room in this heart for fear. No judgment day drawing near. Trust that inner voice you hear every day. Life's not a goal or race. It's about heart and faith and living a life of grace every day. Ours a simple faith. Life is a short embrace. Heaven is in this place every day. Hope is the ground we till. Make each day what you will. Thankful for dreams fulfilled every day. Trust is an open hand, making an honest stand, rooted here in the land every day. Live in the mystery, seeking the harmony here between you and me every day. Ours a simple faith. Life is a short embrace. Heaven is in this place every day. Hope is the ground we till. Make each day what you will. Thankful for dreams fulfilled every day. Ours a simple faith. Life is a short embrace. Heaven is in this place every day. Hope is the ground we till. Make each day what you will. Thankful for dreams fulfilled.
Beautiful, you guys.
Thanks, Judy. Thanks, Stephen.
Beautiful. Thank
Oh.
you. Thank you.
That was so good. You know, I have to say, like, I turned on the news today and I could only watch it for about 4 minutes, and I sat down, took a nap, and stuck my head underwater and all that. Like, you know, I was feeling the pressure of the world. But between you guys and everybody here that's performing, I'm feeling better. You're making me feel better. This is important. You know, it's important for us to remind ourselves who we are and what we're about. So thank you, David and Libby. One more time for Mustard's Retreat, please.
Hey, awesome, you guys. John White, every Thursday night, you make us feel better.
Yeah.
We love you.
I can't wait for my part to be over. I can get to this part. So, John Gorka, do you mind if we chat a little bit, buddy?
I don't mind.
So I earlier Jim was and Kat were bringing up. We talked a little bit about how important it is for venues in a community to give up and coming people a chance to watch other people, to volunteer, to hang around. You know, it's and I know that you had that experience with that place in
Godfrey Daniels.
Godfrey Daniels in Bethlehem.
Mm-hmm.
And Cafe Lena a little bit too, right? Is that true? Yeah, a little bit.
Well, that's one of the places I got to play. I got to play it fairly early on. But Godfrey Daniels is the main was my main place of inspiration. I started going when I was in college. I started going to the open mic nights, and while I was still in college, I started to host the open mic nights, and I stuck around there after school, and because I didn't know of any other place like it anywhere. There was these great people coming through, and it was very inspiring to see that kind of talent up close. That.
Right, and they had they had an advantage over the church basement coffee house that's once a month or something like that. They did shows all the time.
Right. Yeah. It's a kind of a dedicated space. It was originally a donut shop, and where they used to make the donuts is where they make the music now. And I think that's very beautiful.
That's great.
As a donut man myself.
So you knew that was your place right away.
Yeah, they say there's underneath there's kind of oak kind of old barnwood, but beneath the barnwood is jelly.
So I see that here Tim Mason is hiding, and he ran a place called the Old Vienna Coffee House.
Oh yeah, that was a great place.
And for us here, that was the place. Like, we could go there all the time and see shows and participate in the open mic. He would filter, he would watch who was doing well and try to pick somebody that they would match up with well. You know, you can't. I don't think people outside of the people who aren't in working it up as musicians, I don't think they realize how valuable that is. I mean, if you take that away, it takes so much longer, because you learn from every single person you see, and then you get to open for them and realize, how not to do it, perhaps,
Mm-hmm.
Right. So yeah. So we're all just tipping our hats to all the venues out there.
Yeah.
All right, so do you want to play something for us?
I'll sing a song. I'd like to play a Christmas song. It's kind of a non-traditional Christmas song. It was inspired by my first trip to Alaska in, I think, 1996. And I was so impressed with how the grand, the size of everything, the mountains, and how beautiful it was. And I remember outside of Anchorage, there was a sign that commemorated the Good Friday earthquake in 1964. And somehow all those things added up to this song. It's kind of, like I said, non-traditional Christmas song. It's called Zuli. And the good earth shook the day that Jesus was reborn. In Anchorage, March the 27th, 1964. When he came back this time, though, It was as a baby girl. Her parents said her mission was the same, to save the world. God looked down and said, oh, the times they are changing. I will send my only daughter as soon as I complete the staging. All the land shook and rolled and split, there was no warning, except Gabriel had told the mom she'd arrive Good Friday morning. And so it came to pass that her parents named her Zuli, a bright and happy child, also willful and unruly. The birds would come and visit her. They wished they could take her with them when they left their roosts for winter. She would always miss them. Zuli won a scholarship, though the classes mostly bored her. She loved the other students though, and the teachers all adored her. We learned more from her, they said, than we could ever teach her. But there were times when we just could not reach her. She said, we are here to love each other, that is all. And organized religion, that's comparatively small. Not that I don't love all those so-called holy ones, but why are there so few daughters among the leaders with my sons? Now she runs a charter boat on Resurrection Day. She takes tours to see the wild creatures every summer's day. In fall she teaches bush kids at the boarding school in Sitka. On those long December nights, she is the light of winter.
Beautiful, John.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Oh, when this is all over at John Gorka, I'm gonna when you're out on the road again, your first gig, I'm just getting on the airplane and going to it.
Me too. I'll be there.
I'm just gonna sit and let you sing like that for an hour and a half, and I'll be good then.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're welcome. One more time for John Gorka.
John.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, John.
Beautiful, John.
Thank you very much.
So, everyone's free to go, but I think we'll do a quick lightning round if you want to stay. So what that means is, here's no songs that take up the whole side of an album. Here's a list. No Inagata Davida, no Alice's Restaurant, no Sad-Eyed Lady of the Lowlands. All right. Lightning round, right? This is like what was it? I think in the 50s and the 60s, your song had to be 2 minutes and 30 seconds. We'll stretch that out a little bit. So if everyone wants to do that, let's do that. All right. So Kat, what do you got?
I got a song I wrote for my firstborn daughter.
Great.
Called You.
Hang on. Stop. Yeah, your sound. There's something wrong with your sound. Are you plugged in somewhere or?
Something wrong with the sound, huh?
Yeah.
It sounds like maybe a cable might have came loose or something. Something seems all of a sudden it's.
Something isn't good, huh? All right.
Try it again.
thumbs up or the thumbs down. You are the sun that warms my soul. You are the porridge in my bowl. All of my sad feelings go, go, go. I love you more than you will ever know, no, no. You, span a universe or two, a millennium before I finally met you. Sure as the moon that lies the night, you bring true meaning to my life. Oh, times before. No happy footsteps on my kitchen floor. You fit in my arms so perfectly. I wanna do for you what you've done for me. In my heart fills on up with dread when I think about the day we'll part. May you never feel alone. I will always make a home for you.
Oh,
Beautiful.
oh, gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Thank you.
Songs to make you want to hug your kids. There they are right there, boys and girls. Nicely done. Thank you so much. That was great. One more time for Kat Chapman. All right. Lightning round number 2, Chris Matthews.
All right. I think I'm gonna do a song about voting rights. It's okay if you get overwhelmed by the news. Just make sure you vote.
Yeah.
Vote. This is called American History XIX.
wear a band around my wrist that says no one fights alone. I wear it to remind me how the hardest fights are won. It was a gift from her friend when she was fighting cancer. Such simple words, such a powerful answer. Intolerance and fear are spreading like malignant cells do. Faster every day, threatening to tear this world in two. They say you cannot fight for peace, but I say it's time to fight for change. If we let hate divide us, things will only stay the same. So don't let them make you bitter, make you give up and stay home. If you wanna make the world better, we're gonna have to do it on our own. Your vote makes a difference. I said your vote makes a difference when it's all said and done. Remember, no one fights alone. So once again we must decide which way the needle is to move. Will it be forward or backward? Not red, green or blue. We can't be the land of liberty and justice for all if America's new motto is build that wall. Hate and fear are cancers of our consciousness. They breed intolerance. That's how we got in this mess. You cannot fight for peace, but it's time to fight for change. If we let hate divide us, things will only stay the same. So don't let them make you bitter, make you give up and stay home. If you wanna make the world better, we're gonna have to do it on our own. Your vote makes a difference. I said your vote makes a difference when it's all said and done. Remember, remember, no one fights alone. You got the blood of a woman who was told she wasn't good enough to vote running through your veins. And I've got the blood of a black man who was told he wasn't good enough to vote running through my veins. So you can sit there and tell me that your vote doesn't matter. I'm gonna sit here and show you how the world changed after they could vote. So don't let them make you bitter, make you give up and stay home. If you wanna make the world better, we're gonna have to do it on our own. Your vote makes a difference. I said your vote makes a difference when it's all said and done. Remember, remember, no one fights alone. No one fights alone. No one fights alone.
Yeah.
Woo!
Nice.
Yeah. All right, Chris.
Boy.
Woo!
So much. Thanks, everybody. Don't forget to
Yeah.
vote. Don't forget to remind your friends to vote.
Chris, I'm so glad to have met you. Thank you so much for all that you're doing and for being here. I say this to everybody. Some folks know it, but if you've got something to promote, or if you want people to know about something that you're doing, we're here every Thursday. Just pop in. Even if there's a lot of people, we'll get you up to do a tune, and you can let people know what you're up to. So we're
Thanks
here
so
every
much.
Thursday.
I hope everybody comes to the Unitarian concert. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to play 3 different instruments. So if you want to see me play banjo and piano, come to that show.
Yeah, everybody. It's right there. One more time for Chris Matthews, everybody.
That was awesome.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
All right, lightning round, version number 3. They're at the starting gate. They're ready. They're on your mark. Get set. Here we go.
Black cat crossed my path today. I was restless, down and blue. I wasn't looking for an answer. I was just hoping for a clue. The cat said, I learned this long ago. It's a truth that you can trust. Sometimes you're the bug, sometimes you're the truck. Do yourself a favor and make your own luck. Like a house of cards on a windy day, like a slap upside the head. Days there for a moment, thinking about what that cat had said. Slowly I began to grin, which turned into a laugh. So I gathered up my attitude, threw it in the trash. Make your own luck when you're tired and beat. Step up to the plate, swing for the seats. Divine intervention may well be the glue. But make your own luck, luck will find you. Make your own luck, get fate or not. If you're still in the race, then you're beating the odds. To pull yourself through takes courage and pluck. While you're at it trying to make your own luck. Spend time rolling down that lonesome blue highway. Sometimes it helps to visit the rental rooms there by the day. You may find all you really need is just a little nip and tuck. Oh, life can be a wild ride, so saddle up and buck. If you're looking for change, you don't have to look far. It's not round the corner, it's right where you are. If you're caught in the rain, you be a duck. Ruffle up some feathers and make your own luck. Make your own luck, first you've got to apply. Stick out your thumb, you may get a ride. In the end you will find when it's all said and done, make your own luck, luck will find you.
Yeah.
Thank you
so much, everybody.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. You guys really bring it when you come. Thank you so much. One more time for Mustard's Retreat.
Hey, awesome, you guys.
Lightning round number 4, the grand. We're coming down to the finish line. John Gorka, he's ready.
Hello. Great to be a part of this, Don. Thank you very much for having me in. I'd like to sing a song. This is the words are by William Stafford, American poet and pacifist. I was asked to contribute some music to a film about his life and work called "Every War Has Two Losers," and I put his words to the tune and made it into the movie. It's called "Where No Monument Stands." It's a song about a place where war did not break out and where no soldier had to go. Yeah, take my headphones off. Hang on. This is the field where the battle did not happen, where the unknown soldier did not die. This is the field where grass joined hands, where no monument stands, and the only heroic thing is the sky. And the only heroic thing is the sky. Birds fly here without any sound, unfolding their wings across the open. No people killed or were killed on this ground, hallowed by neglect, with an air so tame that people celebrate it by forgetting its name. This is the field where the battle did not happen, where the unknown soldier did not die. This is the field where grass joined hands, where no monument stands. And the only heroic thing is the sky. And the only heroic thing is the sky.
Oh, so beautiful, John.
Oh,
Thank
that
you
is
so
awesome.
much.
Beautiful.
Woo!
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad to be a part of this. You get kind of isolated in this really, the music and the community really helps fix what ails you.
Yeah, John, thank you to you and to everybody that performed tonight. Let's have a nice round of applause for all the artists.
Thanks, everybody. Beautiful.
Everybody.
Don,
Yes,
thank you.
yes, John.
You're welcome.
Don White,
Thank you, Don.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so I'm gonna just read something here quickly. I just want to say something. What we're doing here is about having a voice, right? This is what Kara's doing when she's out rocking the vote. It's what Jim and his wife and his family have done for all these years. For people like Kat, it's what happened at Godfrey Daniels. It's what Tim Mason does. There's so many people in these squares right now who are giving people who don't have a voice a voice. I think it's the most powerful thing you can do. It happens quietly. When someone has a good experience, the first time they perform or read a poem or speak, that voice is unleashed. And the facilitators here, Neil Braverman and everybody, David, and through his whole career, that's what I'm interested in. That's what we're trying to do here, to make sure that those voices are unleashed, because it makes power nervous.
I like that. I like that.
So here, this is just a just so you know, I'm not going to go too long. It's just this length right here. And it's just, I ran an open mic here in Lynn for 12 years. It's still running now, and it was designed to reach the unreachables, homeless kids, people that wouldn't come in. And what we did was we made sure that they didn't have any rules about what they could say. That's the secret. You want to get the kids that nobody can get, just stop telling them that they can't say something. Right? And of course they get up there and just try to horrify you as much as possible, but we taught all the old people to just applaud politely. They did that. These are people who never thought they had a voice. Their parents were drug addicts. You know what I mean? All that stuff that happens in towns like Lynn. And so this is for everybody that's going to find their voice, and all these facilitators here who are helping it happen. We saw you when you slipped in here soaking wet and tried to hide in the corner as if your life was not raining on you. We loved you before you knew we could see you. This place, after all, was built for all of you, wet and wounded, bullied and broken, ignored and targeted, alone in the worlders, who live in the shadows out there on the edge of belonging. We loved you by leaving you alone and letting you decipher us with those highly developed, piercing refugee's eyes, the one that can spot a lie, a truth, a weakness, a strength from 30 paces. When you asked, "What is this place?" we answered without speaking, "This is your place." When you asked yourself, "Who are these people?" we answered without speaking, "Welcome home." Into the cement that we used to build this community, we poured the knowledge that all human beings need to belong and to contribute. You belonged at the minute you entered, you contributed at the moment you found your voice, and used it to show us the world behind your eyes. We love you, you deserve it. Ta-da.
That's right.
Hey, Don, that was beautiful and right from your heart, and
yeah,
exactly what you've always done.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks to everybody. These are very healing, and I don't think I needed to heal as much as I did today. So thank you, everybody. This is good. We'll be here every Thursday, except the one after the election. I'm just gonna have my head underwater. I think that Thursday, that whole week. I can't. But other than that, I'm here every Thursday. I want to thank Jim Sargent and his wife and his family, please. Thank everybody from the pantry, from the food pantry, doing the good work over there. And I also want to thank everybody who donated and everybody who came, even if you donated or not. I love you. You're welcome. So here's our thing here. We don't, like, I started this meeting, so if I click this button, this illusion of us all being together is abruptly ended. And it's horrifying. It's just like, it's traumatizing. So I don't, like, we're all pretending that we're all here, and then blank screen, right? So the reality of how alone we are in the world comes very abruptly. So I don't do it. You can all just click off one at a time, say goodbye. If you want to hang around, talk, that's good, but don't feel any obligation. But there's not going to be any abrupt back to solitude initiated by me.